Yields back. For purpose of the gentleman from Idaho, is agreed.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in opposition to the amendment.
The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes in opposition.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in strong opposition to this amendment. Last spring, the administration proposed a rule that would greatly expand the federal jurisdiction over of the Clean Water Act to include waters that were traditionally understood to be under state jurisdiction. Let me repeat that. Many people believe that if the waters were not regulated under the Clean Water Act, they were unregulated. Not true. They were regulated by the states, and that's where it should remain. Now, there became a question of, under the Clean Water Act, under navigable waters, what the heck does that mean? It was very confusing. Does it mean navigable by a steamship, navigable by a boat, a canoe, inner tube? And the court said, you need to clarify this. Well, the EPA said, essentially, well, we can clarify that. We'll just control all the waters and take them out of state control. I think that's a problem, and I can tell you that it's a real problem for states in the West, particularly. The administration's proposed rule is inconsistent with two separate Supreme Court decisions that clearly said that the Corps of Engineers and the Environmental Protection Agency had gone too far and that federal jurisdiction under the Clean Water Act was not as broad as they had claimed. Deciding how water is used should be the responsibility of the state and local officials who are familiar with the people and local issues. Under the provision, under the rule provided by the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers, they are saying intermittent streams. That means streams that don't have water running in them but maybe a month or two a year now fall under their jurisdiction. And under the connectivity rule, which is what this is, you know, the hip bones connected to the leg bones, connected to the knee bone sort of thing. Under the connectivity rule, while they say that this is not their intent, there is no way that you cannot eventually say that we're going to control groundwater also. Not just surface water, but groundwater also, because it's connected to the surface water also. So while there may be a desire for clarity on the issue of federal jurisdiction, providing clarity does not trump the need to stay within the limits of the law. The proposed rule would expand federal jurisdiction far beyond what was ever intended by the Clean Water Act. The provision in the Energy and Water Bill does not weaken the Clean Water Act. It stops the administration from expanding federal jurisdiction. For those reasons, I strongly oppose this amendment and urge my colleagues to vote no and reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Idaho reserves.